We know he was a better quarterback than a lot of guys who have been signed. That wasn't the reason he wasn't getting signed. We all understand that. So who's going to show up to this? Josina Anderson said, a source from an NSC team said the team will review whether to attend the Kaepernick workout. We have, as they said, we have nothing to lose by attending Cap's workout, but I still think for us it would be just an information gathering trip. Another source told Josina that there was interest in the Dallas Cowboys organization to send at least one representative. Now, at this workout, it will be combine style. Basically,
it's a pro day.
Not from the combine workouts, but the fact that along with on field, there'll be interviews. So teams will be able to talk to him, and I'm sure that will be and for those who may be interested, that will be an important part of where are you, in your what you were in
your protest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where is all of that right now? What will come to the locker room? What will come to the field? Those are all questions they want to ask. And after all is said and done, because I do believe teams will show up. Do I think all 32 teams? No. But I do think some teams will show up, whether it's a coach, whether it's a GM, whatever the representative is, and it will all be videotaped, so they'll get a chance to see that as well. After all of that, we still know it's going to come down to the owner. The GM, the coach, whoever can see, hear, say whatever they want, but they're going to have to go talk to the 32 owners of each team, and if they're truly interested and say, is it okay for us to sign Cap? That's, again, what it's going to come down to.
And remember, that situation presented itself, I think, a year ago in Baltimore when Steve Bisciotti said, hey, we were thinking about it. Then we heard from our fans and decided, wait, we don't want to go down this road. And I bring up Baltimore, which is interesting because Baltimore is doing the damn thing right now with Lamar Jackson at quarterback.
And with Greg Roman.
There it is.
Yep.
So how much of I have two questions for you guys because I find both of these are fascinating. With the success we're seeing with Lamar Jackson, doing it with Greg Roman, who was his offensive coordinator in San Francisco when Cap took over for Alex Smith and took them to a Super Bowl, do you think that's changing people's minds at all with what might be the possibility of what could be achieved?
I think it's got the potential to be a more receptive league just as far as building offenses around quarterback skill sets, because in general, that's been the trend, whether it's Kyler Murray in Arizona and saying we're going to take the things he did well at the college level and try and marry them with the NFL offense. We see this kind of across the board with meeting quarterbacks where they are as opposed to trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. And you have this year a rash of injury at that position. That has been another part. It's been the year of the backup quarterback in a lot of ways. And so when you've got a bunch of replacement level quarterbacks out there, it would, in theory, make it a little more, I'd say, open to something like this happening.
And let's also remember that from the quarterback position, now he has been out for a while.
Correct.
But you'll be able to see what kind of skills he has as much as you can in a workout. But it's really no risk if you want to bring him on. You're not going to be signing a massive contract for the guy to bring him on. Where it is going to be again, because one of the questions, and quite honestly, for a team, it'll be a fair question to ask. Colin, when they're in the interview, if we sign you, the first day you stand up in front of that media, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
How are you going to react to all the questions about what went down in the past? Where are you? We would like to know where you're going to go with this, because that's going to be the biggest thing, right? When you sign Colin Kaepernick, is that quote-unquote distraction from the fan base, from the public out there. If you sign Colin Kaepernick, do you know what he did? Do you know what kind of socks he wore or shirt he wore? And all that's going to all come bubbling back up. And a team, they have to do their due diligence and understand that and say, okay, where are we now? They wouldn't sign him before when it was, like touching a hot stove as far as what he was.
Reactor.
Exactly. So they're going to be fair to touch it again and say, okay, where are we now?
I'm curious too, because I think Colin has said, and I can find the quotes, I won't protest the anthem anymore. I think he's come out and said that in the way
we see Michael Bennett has not done that since he's gone to the Cowboys.
Correct. So that's one thing I'm curious about, because I think that answer's been out there. But to your point, how will you respond to the questions?
Yeah.
That's a fair thing. And the other thing that I'm curious about, because as Junior, you alluded to it, that lawsuit with Eric Reed and Colin Kaepernick was settled in February. The terms of that settlement were never, ever disclosed.
Right.
And they may never come out. And apparently it wasn't as much money as a lot of people thought it might have been. I just wonder if part of that settlement would have been, if we can put this behind us and move on forward, there may be a way where either I, as Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the league, or the NFL in general, will say, hey, we'll do something to try and jumpstart you getting back into a team. I mean, because it seems sort of arbitrary that heading into week 11 of the regular season is when this whole thing is going forward. And I just wonder, with the success of what we've seen from Lamar Jackson with his old offensive coordinator and with the settlement of the lawsuit, if part of this is like, this is something that we will do for you if we can put this thing behind us.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a possibility. I don't know enough to really say for sure on that. I just
None of us do. We're just sort of trying to figure this out.
I guess I go into this entire thing with pretty measured expectations. Like the idea of having a workout that a lot of people can come to me, is one part the NFL saying, because we know every time someone even whispered about bringing Colin Kaepernick in,
right,
you became the team that was bringing Colin Kaepernick in, and it was all this focus. Now it's saying, all right, we'll try and create this safe space where you're not the only team. Everybody can come to this. So you're not the only team that's going to be asked about your intentions with Colin Kaepernick. But the other side of this is, and maybe it's just my general skeptical nature with things, which is, this seems like the NFL being able to say after this, if he doesn't get signed, look, we tried.
We tried.
Like
we gave him a platform.
It's saying, hey, we tried. As unrealistic as the setup of this might be, and as, again, in week 11, how much is it really affording in all of this? It seems like the ability to say, because you're right, that headline we see every time some lesser quarterback gets signed is, well, man, Colin Kaepernick's out there. The NFL can then turn around and say, look, we did this for him.
Here's the one thing I can almost guarantee. Obviously, nothing's 100%. I can almost guarantee from this, he's going to have a great workout. Right? Do we have any doubt? This is like a pro day.
No, yeah,
Do
exactly.
we have any doubt that he is going to look good running around on the field and throwing the ball? I think he's going to look great doing it.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.